and ERP. Today, I'm honored to be your facilitator for this training program on security threats to applications. As an application development professional, I have spent 22 years in application development, programming, security, and implementation part of ERP and all. So, in today's interconnected world, applications have become an integral part of our daily lives. So, like we are connected with the internet and we are usage is increasingly increasing. So we have now mobile apps जो कि हमने कभी पहले सोचा भी नहीं था. Are we comfortable in English or Hindi or both the language mix चलेगा?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, chalega.
Right.
Yes. Sorry, sir. Sir, sorry, many of us are from Tamil Nadu also. We do not know Hindi.
Okay. No issue. We'll try to.
So it could be better. You can please better make it in English. It will be favor for us. Sure.
Sure. Right, I will try. So, however, with the rise of digitization, there has also been a surge in security threats because once we go online and basically we are doing online shopping, we are putting our data online. So now it's also inviting the threats to the security. So that is a problem again. So now the people are targeting the applications. They are trying to confiscate our data or trying to fetch our data and just use it or misuse it for their illegal purposes and all. So we now in this training program, we will dive deep into understanding various attacks, attacks vectors, and what are the potential vulnerabilities and best practices to ensure robust application security. So how to avoid those vulnerabilities and how to seal that vulnerabilities so that the applications can work easily and it will give no harm, right? This training is not just about theoretical concept actually. As I came to know or I was told that there are people which is not from IT background, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I am trying to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
We
I'm
are
trying
from
to.
electrical background.
So I'm trying to keep it as layman kind of thing, just definitions and covering the basic concepts of the application security. So
Sir, please, sir.
yeah.
Very beneficial for we people, not
Yeah.
any background IT. Okay.
So this is that's what I'm saying. So in this application, we are discussing the common pitfalls to exploring the latest security trends. We are committed to empowering you with the skills needed to safeguard our applications and protect our data, basically. Because data is now a new oil, you can say. Because if you lose your data, suppose earlier we don't have mobiles and all, but nowadays, if we lose our mobile for a second, we are just getting panic because it has data. That's why we are getting panicked. And as we progress through this program, I encourage each one of you to actively engage, ask questions, and share your experiences as well, right? So that it will not be one way, so that we can interact and understand, right? So let us embark on this enlightening journey together, ready to absorb knowledge, build resilience, and strengthen our defense against security threats to applications. So I'm excited to move forward. And I hope you will learn something beneficial out of this training and definitely benefited out of it, right? So this is the table of content. We are covering overall type of applications. What are the applications basically? What are the types of applications? Our topic is application security. So what are the types of applications we use? And then application security threats and problems. What are the application security threats which is common? Then threat detection and mitigation. How to detect that threat and how to mitigate those threats. because it is important to, first of all, you need to identify the threat. What is threat? Then how to mitigate those threats. Then how to do application security testing. We will cover some part of this area, how to secure our application so that it will not be hacked or it cannot leak our data, something like that. Then these are all the basically area how to make your application more secure by doing the vulnerability assessment, then by doing the penetration testing and all, right? So what is application? Can anyone tell what is application? Application किसे कहते हैं?
Any kind of platform where we can run some programs or
Programs or data. We can create data from applications. We can run the programs.
Right. Somewhat correct. Any other try?
Application is a set of program which is written or which is created to achieve a certain goal or to complete a certain task.
Right. Right. So there are two kind of applications basically. Overall, if we say, so there are two kind of applications. One is system application and another one is user application. So basically application का अगर हम बोले definition बोले तो application refers to a set of instruction or code. Basically application क्या है? एक set of instructions है and code designed to perform a specific task or functions for end user. मतलब code के through performing a task जो कि end user perform करेगा. End user will perform a task through that code. Means कि we are telling by that application we are telling computer to do certain task, right? So there are two types of applications basically, system application and user application. So application are created to help users perform various tasks efficiently because कि suppose कि ऐसा नहीं कि human cannot do the things, but computer is efficient to doing repetitive things. Let's say कि suppose we are good enough in counting or we good enough in maintaining the register, but computer is specifically helping us to do the task fast in fast manner. Means we can do the repetitive task in fast manner. So that's where application into the picture, come into the picture. So an application is also known as app. Basically app या software program के through हम जानते हैं ना कि application, what is application? Application is app as well as software program. You can say it is known as software program or app. It is created to perform a specific task or function for users. Means like we have application to perform a task. So can anybody give an example of system applications? What are the system applications?
Operating systems.
operating system?
System applications, because there are two type applications, system applications and user applications. So what are the system applications?
OS.
Task manager.
System application.
Google.
Calculator is a system application.
Google, we can say Google.
Google, sir, Google is a web application basically. Google is an application, right? But yeah, Google
OS.
basically क्या है? System. I have
Google
asked
OS.
about system application. System application is the
OS.
application. सिस्टम एप्लीकेशन आल्सो नोन एज सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर और प्री इंस्टॉल्ड एप्स जो आपके कंप्यूटर में प्री इंस्टॉल होके आती है एप्स, दोज आर द सिस्टम एप्लीकेशन. लाइक आपकी विंडोज एप्लीकेशन इज द सिस्टम एप्लीकेशन बिकॉज it has essential programs that come with the operating system and are required for the device to function correctly. आपका जो हार्डवेयर को रन करने के लिए जो एप्लीकेशन चाहिए that is operating system and known as system application because you cannot run your computer without Windows, right? That is mandatory applications. So those are the applications which are system applications. They provide core functionality of the PC, personal computer system, you can say, that support the overall operation of the device. Like कि आपको जो भी task करना है, you can operate, you can interact with the hardware through that software, that application, that is system applications. And user applications, what is user application? User applications are software program installed by the end user. बेसिकली जो हम लोग इंस्टॉल करते हैं, those are the user applications. Like we say कि MS Office, Microsoft Office, if we say, so those are the user applications. We have installed those applications to the system and utilize according to our need. Like we need to write application in Word, or we need to use Excel and PowerPoint, like that. So those are the user applications. So they are installed by the end user to perform a specific task. They are not essential for the device basic functioning, because अगर आपके पास Office installed नहीं है, if you don't have Office in your PC, still you can work on PC, right? Means you can interact with the hardware. But if you don't have operating system, you cannot work with any applications, kind of thing. What are the difference between system applications? System applications typically have higher privilege and access to the device internal resources. Basically, जो system application होती है, they have higher privileges, so that कि they can kill the other applications, or they are facilitated to run the user applications. Basically, you can say they have often require administrative or root level access. इसमें आपका administrative access चाहिए होता है. System application, suppose कि you have PC, which is installed by or administered by IT department from your company, right? So they are maintaining those system, and admin right is not for common user. Normal user or end user is using normal standard user rights, which is limited to, because you in that case you cannot use some functionality which is restricted to the administrator only, right? And user applications generally have limited privilege and operate with the sandbox environment to prevent interference with critical system operations. Basically, आपका जो user application होता है, that is installed in less privileged environment, and it is not fiddling with the system privileges. So that it's like that. Like आपका user application में, can you give an example of user applications? Any else?
Microsoft Office.
Microsoft Office. Anybody was saying
There is
Adobe
there
Reader.
is there is
Adobe Reader.
multiple
Adobe,
software
yeah.
coming in the market.
WinRAR.
You are
MS
somebody
Outlook,
was saying calculator is a system application. Calculator is not a system application. That is user application basically. It is not.
AutoCAD, Teamweaver,
Yeah.
Teamweaver, or other. There is multiple software.
Multiple, right. What is the difference between web application and desktop applications?
Web application published on the web, or it is a web-based application which is published on web, and a system application which is installed in system.
Yeah. Basically, desktop applications are applications which are installed in the PC or local machine, and that can be accessed by that end user only. But in web applications, the application which is installed on the web server and hosted into the server, and that address, and that can be accessed by an address given, like google.com. Suppose you have accessing google.com, anybody can access google.com because it's hosted in a server where you can type and get the application. There are various applications also known as enterprise applications, web application, mobile applications, applications used in mobile, that are mobile application, enterprise applications. Like these applications are designed to support the needs of business and organization. They may include customer relationship, CRM system है जैसे आपका, या ERP system है, that is enterprise system. Then embedded applications. Embedded applications, basically these applications are built into a specific device or products and are not meant to be run independently. Examples include software inside a smart TV. Like embedded applications क्या होती हैं? Suppose we say embedded applications. The applications which are embedded with the device. Like now we have industrial era car में भी हमारा applications, embedded applications आती हैं, because they are installed with the pre-installed with the system, and it is means कि specific device के लिए वो बनी होती हैं और उसका limited functionality होता है, उतना ही काम करते हैं, that are working in that environment. Then let's move to next slide. Then there are two. This is our the standalone application. What are the standalone applications basically? This standalone application is also known as desktop application basically. इसमें हमारा क्या होता है कि standalone is a type of software application that can run independently on a computer system without the need for any additional software or plugins. Like we have earlier application exe applications because it can run. Once you click on the exe application, it will run, and that is system independent. Means it need not to need any plugin. It is self-sufficient and does not rely on a web browser or any other software platform to function. Means ये application जैसे भी आपका MS Office है. Once you install it into your computer, it will be run standalone. Those kind of application are standalone application. In that way, anybody can tell what way, in that way, what is browser? Is that also application or not? It is a matlab standalone application or web application? Can you tell? Pardon?
Web application. User
Web
interface.
application, sir.
I am asking, what is browsers?
It is a web application.
Browser is a tool where we can access the websites
Yes, the browser
through
is
the
a.
internet.
It's not a web application. Browser is an application. Basically,
Sorry. It is an application where using. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so browser is a standalone application basically, which is installed in your PC, right? And by using that browser, you can access the website, your web applications. But web browser is a application installed in a PC. So a web application runs in a browser, so a browser cannot technically be a web application, right? So there are key characteristics of standalone applications. So what are the key characteristics of the standalone application basically? Because it has no dependencies. Standalone applications are designed to be self-contained, meaning they do not require any external libraries, frameworks, or runtime environments to operate. Means कि once you have installed it, need not to be internet should be running. Internet की need नहीं है. There is no need of internet. You can work on that application independently. In this application, all the necessary components and resources are bundled within the application itself. Because all the necessary plugins or libraries, whatever is needed for to run that application, it is bundled within that application. Standalone applications are typically installed on a computer's local storage, hard drive में installed होती हैं, and user can launch and use the application directly from the desktop or start menu without the need for an internet connection, right? Then offline functionality. A standalone application can often be used offline, basically no need of internet. Then user interface. A standalone application commonly have graphical user interface, GUI, that allows user to interact with the application using buttons, menus and other visual elements, right? Means कि आपके standalone application में आपका graphical GUI होता है that allows you to interact with the application using buttons, menus and other visual elements. Example, many desktop software applications such as MS Office, image editors, media players and games are examples of a standalone application. A standalone application के और क्या फायदे हो सकते हैं? Can anybody tell? What are the benefits out of a standalone application?
No dependencies.
Yeah. Anything else?
These are not connected in through internet, so there is no chance of any virus.
Yeah. And portability also, you can port it. Means कि dependency भी नहीं है server पे. You don't need not to wait कि internet is not there, then you can access application without. Suppose you are in remote area and you can access that application
Yes.
that is in your reach or in your PC. It's worth noting that the standalone application is just one type of software application. Other types include web applications, which require an internet connection and run inside a web browser. Mobile applications specifically designed for a smartphone and tablet. Similar way में मतलब basically these are the standalone applications, then web applications, then mobile applications, right? Standard applications are widely used across various industries and are especially popular for providing feature-rich offline capable solution on desktop computers and laptops. So these are basically feature-rich application होती है like Adobe Photoshop. Those are the feature-rich applications. Nowadays, web applications are also become feature-rich, but yeah, of course, there is a need की desktop application which are more heavy applications. You can use that, right? Then here in this slide, we are showing a standard application user, and this are application and file is stored in the hard disk. And example, I have given here calculator, paint, notepad, era, Photoshop, basic applications के example दे रखे हैं features में. Then offline functionality, better performance, greater control, simple distribution, cost effectiveness, right? Then moving to next slide, network based or web based applications. So as I told you, network discussed with you, a network or web based application is a type of software application that operates over a computer network and is accessed through a web browser. Means suppose we want to access a web application, then what we need? We need a web browser for that. Can we access the web application without web browser?
No.
So we need a web
No,
browser
sir.
so that's here the dependency. We need a web browser to access the web application. First of all, how many kind of browser is there? There are a lot of browsers.
There is a lot of browser coming in the market. Mozilla, Chrome, Net, Firefox, or other.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So key characteristics of network or web-based application include internet connectivity. These application requires an active internet connection to function. User access the application through their web browsers, and the application server communicate with the client side browser to deliver content and service. तो बेसिकली हम वेब से कनेक्ट करते हैं, तो हमारी एप्लीकेशन इसमें वेब ब्राउजर में कहाँ पे होस्टेड होती है बेसिकली
On the
एप्लीकेशन हमारी
application server.
application web server, basically we say web server. Basically,
Yeah, you
where
can
our
say that.
yeah, web server is there. Basically, these are big servers like suppose we have Google. So google.com, once you press the google.com, it will, based on your location and all, it will connecting to the nearest server and serving you the application, right? तो इसका प्लस पॉइंट क्या होता है कि इट इज प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंस. मीन्स कि इफ यू कंपेयर कि आपका स्टैंडर्ड एप्लीकेशन एंड वेब एप्लीकेशन, तो इट इज प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंस. Suppose ki you can access the same website in any platform. Suppose you are using Mac server, Mac PC, or you are using Windows PC, you can access the application. But in case of
it is I think user friendly application.
It's not user friendly because the application is running on the web server. So that platform or environment is created on that web server, and the functionality is coming through you through web browser, right? You are opening that application in that server. That server is giving you the data, means that server is sending you data through web browser. So need not to install in PC. So in जैसे suppose कि Mac में भी चलेगा आपका, it will work on Mac, it will work on Windows, because की application is hosted in web server and running from there, and you are seeing the output of that application. Definitely. Suppose कि you have opened a gmail.com, right? And you have put in your username and password. And once you press the login button, the data travels to the server, and where it will authenticate the data and come back to you as at client side. Here I have shown the architecture basically. This is business, basically this is client presentation layer, where client is there. Then application servers, that is database, basically web servers, and background में database server is there. So once you open you are just client end user. You click the google.com or gmail.com, and once you enter your username and password and submit login button, then it will go to the application server tier, application tier, and from application tier it will go to the database and authenticate the information you have sent, whether you are valid user or not, and send back the response accordingly. Suppose you have entered the wrong password, then web server will identify that you are entered the wrong credentials, and it will return you back you're not invalid user, invalid user, right? So like this. So these are the network based applications. the platform independence is one thing. Then centralized data management. इसका प्लस पॉइंट क्या है कि you need not to update the application. Suppose कि MS Office में new patch has come, right? So you need to patch the every machine to in order to get the latest update. In web application, we can patch the server itself, and whoever accessing the data from that website is getting the new application, new patched data, whatever it is changes have made, that UI will come, right? Then what is the client server architecture? Anybody can tell? Client server architecture क्या होता है?
Some application we are hosting in the other system and we can use locally on the network.
Yeah,
Other
basically similar in case of web application, right? जैसे कि application is hosted somewhere else, like आपका it is hosted in the server and we are accessing
we can say that it is just like a web application, but in market there is multiple application coming where we can install a single machine server. We can create a server and we can use it as a client on the other PC also.
yeah, that is networking, through networking, right? Then updates and maintenance of this web application is easier. We can update, suppose ki we have some change in functionality or change in workflow and something else, we can update the server and same application is easy, means served to the clients and clients. And maintenance is also easy because ki if you need to change something or database, yeah, you need to change the UI, you can change it there only in web server and it will serve to the all end user. Then security consideration. Web-based application must implement security measures to you protect data and user information as they are accessible over the internet. यहाँ पे हमारा security concern बढ़ जाता है because कि our web application is exposed to internet, right? तो security flaws की वजह से अगर suppose कि somebody is hacked your server, then he can get all the information, right? So security web-based application must implement security measures to protect data and user information as they are accessible over the internet. This includes measures like encryption, authentication, and authorization, right? तो हमें अपने security measures का ध्यान रखना पड़ता है इसमें. Then examples, common example of web-based application include online banking portals, then email services, social media platforms, e-commerce websites, project management tools, and cloud-based productivity suites like Google Workspace and Microsoft 365, right? So these are the common applications we are using in on daily basis. So these are the applications. Then advantages of the web-based applications. They offer several advantages such as easy access from any device with a web browser. You can access plus point क्या है कि suppose you can access it from any device. Like you can open a web application website from a mobile device. You can open the same application from iPad. Whatever the device you have, you can access the applications provided it has internet facility. Because you cannot access any website or application without internet, right? Then what are the challenges? Web-based applications may face challenges related to internet connectivity and performance as they rely on stable and reasonably fast internet connection for optimal user experiences. Suppose earlier who has accessed the internet earlier 2G, 3G time pe, you are not able to open the website, it will take too much time to load. And at the time, suppose we have opened a YouTube video and it take round and taking so much time. After that, it will load and then it will serve. So that was a challenge, but nowadays good bandwidth, but still there are remote locations where bandwidth is not as good as in Delhi NCR, so or metros. So still those challenges are there. So web-based applications have become increasingly popular due to their accessibility. Web-based application is popular because it is accessible from anywhere and ease of use and ability to provide real-time updates and collaboration features. Like you can see, suppose any news, anything can come, it will update it in a minute. Internet, में suppose earthquake has come in Delhi last 2 days back, I think. So everybody is searching in Google, and within a minute you can see ki updates are there. Ki, yeah, there are some hit in earthquake and like that. So it is very ease of use and real-time updates and collaboration features. They have transformed how business and individuals interact with software and access service, enabling a more dynamic and interconnected digital experiences. So now it is interconnected, but everything is interconnected. So here I have just tried to summarize key vis-a-vis standalone application and network-based application. Standalone also known as a desktop application, and this is distributed. Network-based application, you can say network-based application, either web application, or you can say distributed application, all are same basically. And to run the standard application, a network or internet connection is not required, and in network-based, network connection is required. Standalone users applications can run on a single local machine where it is deployed. Standard application आपकी जो desktop जिस PC में deployed है वहीं पे run करेगी, while network application will run on the web server and client server application. Basically, you can access that application from your PC browser. A single user can standalone application tools and feature at a time, where multiple servers clients can use a client server application at a time. इसमें आपका डेस्कटॉप में एट अ टाइम में एक ही यूजर काम कर सकता है, बट इन द केस ऑफ नेटवर्क बेस्ड एप्लीकेशन multiple user can work at a time. Then standard application may be preferred for their simplicity, ease of use, and offline functionality, because you can use it offline. But network based applications are efficient in scalability, flexibility, and ability to provide shared resources to multiple clients. Now, next slide. Then now we are coming to our main topic, that is application security. So anybody can say what is application security? Can you tell? What do you mean by application security? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
By application security, we can safeguard our application to avoid any security or hacking type of activity from other work.
Right. Means ki application
You
security
can say
में
that,
yeah,
secured with encryption.
yeah, that is a media to secure the application. Matlab that is one way how to secure our application, right?
From
Then
the client to server.
yeah. So here our objective is what is application security. We'll later understand what is application security. Then approach towards web application security कि what is the web application, कैसे हम उसको secure करते हैं. Then OWASP top 10 application vulnerabilities we'll listen. Then software secure development life cycle, how it is developed. So
Sir,
let's
what
proceed.
is OWASP?
OWASP basically is a standard made by Open World Society. Basically, that is for development. Once you develop the application, these are the principles. They have devised the principles to design the application, secure application. Basically, we will later will cover in brief, right? So let's move.
Okay.
Okay. Then, in simple terms, what do you mean by application security? In simple term, if you say application security refers to the measures and practices put in place to protect software application from potential threats, vulnerabilities, and unauthorized access. Means कि application security हम क्या करते हैं? We'll secure the application to secure the measures and practice put in place. We put the measures and practices in place to protect software application. ये हम अपनी सॉफ्टवेयर एप्लीकेशन को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए फ्रॉम पोटेंशियल थ्रेट्स, कोई भी थ्रेट है जैसे थर्ड पार्टी बाहर से कोई आदमी एक्सेस करके हैक करके ना कर पाए, उसको सील करने के लिए वी डू इट लाइक दैट कि nobody can access unauthorized, or we can find out the vulnerabilities. Suppose कि you are getting the patch management, like कि Windows में daily patches या patch will come to update the, जैसे कि नई application update हो गई, तो why it is being update? Because there were some vulnerabilities and or new features. That's why we are companies like big companies, like they are releasing the patch to patch that vulnerability or the update the features, new features, right? So in simple terms कह सकते हैं कि application security refers to the measures and practices put in place to protect software applications from potential threat, vulnerabilities, and unauthorized access. It involves a proactive approach to identifying and mitigating security risk throughout the application lifecycle. Why is application security so important? Applications have become an integral part of our daily lives, supporting various tasks and services we rely on. From mobile apps, we are handling sensitive personal data to web applications, facilitating financial transactions. The data processed by application is highly valuable and attractive to malicious actors. Any security weakness in an application can lead to data breaches. Basically, suppose कि अगर कोई application आपकी application insecure है, तो that में breach means कि hacker can get your data and misuse that data. Suppose you have purchased a site, purchase anything from e-commerce site, right? And you have entered your information, credit card information, your address, mobile number, everything is there. It is saved and you have purchased. And some third party hacker has got access somehow to that data, and he can use your stole that data, and he can use your card or your information as you and give a loss to you, something like that. So malicious sector, basically they are malicious sector जो कि malified intention के साथ आए, they are just misuse your data. Any security weakness in an application can lead to data breaches, financial losses, reputation damage. Suppose कि Amazon की साइट पे आपने कोई परचेज किया और वहां से आपका जो है डेटा लॉस हो गया, so that is again a reputation damage to that company, particular company. You will not go again to Amazon and buy anything because कि you have got a financial loss and even legal liabilities kind of thing. So application here, I can say application security comprises measures taken to improve the security of an application, often by finding, fixing and preventing security vulnerabilities. तो हमें क्या करना होता है इसमें application security? We are trying to always find is there any vulnerability, then fix that vulnerability and preventing security vulnerabilities जिसको patch कर दिया जाए. Different techniques are used to surface such vulnerabilities at different stages of an application lifecycle, such as design, development, deployment, upgrade, maintenance. Here we say कि मतलब we need to take care of application security in every phase of application development. Means कि while we are designing, we need to ensure कि our application is secure in manner at the time of design itself. From starting from the conceptualization of the application, we should see कि our application is secure. Then development में we need to cover all the development kind of like validation. There should be proper validation. Suppose कि there are fields like username and password. Suppose what if we don't mark the strict in the password field, right? Suppose कि development में suppose Gmail, you have opened your Gmail and username password both are plain text. It is coming like blue plain text. You are not put the star marks in there. So at the development time, if you don't put that, anybody can behind you can see your password as well. So we need to take care of it from very beginning, from design, development, then deployment. Once you deploy it to the server, you need to be the hardening of the server because your server should be behind some firewall and proper rules and rules are defined, and what are the ports open to access that application that only are authorized to in server, so that anybody cannot access that uh, application. Then upgrade and maintenance, that is the part, right? Then further, now we are in the age of digital interconnected services, है ना? So this is the age of digital era, basically digital age we can say, or information age we can say. We can say the information age. Here information is flowing like anything, means internet may you can see anything which is began in the late 20th century and continues evolve in the 21st century. It is characterized by the widespread adoption of digital technologies and the seamless flow of information across the globe. Through the internet, it is very easy to travel the data. Earlier, we used to write letters and it will take 15 days, 20 days to reach one location to another location. Then email has come into the picture. Then now WhatsApp and all. Within a second, fraction of second, information is traveling. So key technological advancement that define the age of digital interconnection includes the internet. Basically, this is possible only because of internet. The internet revolutionized the way we access and share information. How it is revolution आ गया आपका, how we are accessing the information and sharing the information. It allowed people, organization and device from different parts of the world to connect and communicate instantly. You can connect and communicate. Then mobile technology, the rise of smartphones and mobile devices further accelerated the digital interconnected era. Mobile internet access allowed people to stay connected on the go and open up new possibilities for communication and commerce. Then social media is there. You can connect to the people, friend, family with the social media. So this is all internet benefit of internet and digital connected. Then cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Anybody can say now?
The application software itself will be stored in the cloud, like
Yeah. Means ki our
Cloud
data means ki application is also means ki user is using software as a service basically. SaaS model.
we can take a compute on the cloud where we can run the application.
Right. Basically, we need thin client or dummy machines, basically not having more power, and the same thing we can access through the web, and uh, all the compute and power will come from there, as rightly you said, right? So then Internet of Things, IoT, technology connected everyday device to internet, allowing them to collect and exchange data. So IoT means Internet of Things. Basically now everything is getting smart. You say your phone is smart, smartphone. Why it is smart? Because you can interact, you can connect with internet. This create network of smart and interconnected devices that enhance automation and data-driven decision making. Then there is a big data analytics. Then big data come into picture. Big data analytics make any idea what is big data analytics? Big data and analytics is the you can suppose ki you have searched anything, right? Suppose imagine me you are checked basically suppose you check on Google ki you want to fly from Delhi to Kolkata, right? So now companies getting your data and they are suggesting you. Next day or once you are opening anything from a mobile, it will say you same thing. You want to you have searched your flight ka rate no ho gaya, this is the rate flight falling or increasing. You are seeing. So that is a part of analytics because ki they are keep tracking of your things ki what you are doing on internet and they are suggesting you based on that your profile ki what you are doing or what you have searched recently and something like that. So that is a big data analytics ho gaya. Then artificial intelligence, AI. What is AI? Have you heard about AI now? AI models?
Yes, yes. I mean, whatever things we wanted to do without, I mean, with certain logic, program automatically creates their own answer. So अगर कुछ हमें करना है, search करना. So earlier Google is showing only things which are already feeded, which are there, but with the
Yeah.
help of intelligence, artificial intelligence program, it creates their own, I think, search, answer and all. So
Yeah,
so
basically
that is
you are
So
quite
basically,
correct.
simulation of human-like intelligence, you can say.
ये
yes.
basically it is a natural language processing you say मतलब कि they are computer को आपने language सिखा दिया and they are processing it naturally like human being. Basically you have developed the intelligence human intelligence natural language processing में you have developed the capability like a model, then it is responding based on their learning. You have trained the model. It's a AI model basically, artificial intelligence model, which is trained for natural language processing and it based on their processing and data trainings. He is responding you the like you have heard the name of chat GPT and all, right? So now we move to next slide. This is the age of digital interconnected services. It is showing ki how we are connected digitally in various means. Then this is the main thing for application security. These are three components of the CIA triad. Basically, CIA. What do you mean by CIA? Have you heard CIA?
Confidentiality, integrity, and availability.
Availability. What do you mean by confidentiality?
So we have to protect whatever data is there, whatever data is got feeded in the system has to be confidential.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
cannot be read by anyone other than the respective person who's authorized to read. So that we have to maintain in the system.
Right. Basically, confidentiality means that data should be confidential, and in the meantime, it should be accessible to the right person. Yeah, the person who is authorized to see that information. If we secure the means ki, suppose some information is very confidential, right? But it has to be accessed through somebody. Maybe 1 or 2% is authorized to access that information, but it should be accessed. So we need to uh, create a measures to that information is visible to only those people only, right? So that is the confidentiality. Data is kept private, secret, and secure only to be accessed by the specific parties who are authorized to see that data. They are authorized only to see the data. That is confidentiality. The CIA in the context of information security stand for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These three principles are the foundation of a secure and robust information security framework. आपका जो information security framework है, these are the three pillars you can say. They are guiding us how to handle or give protection to sensitive data and ensuring the smooth functioning of system and services. Means कि हमने confidential तो बना दिया बट इतना हमने उसको complex बना दिया system को कि उसको access करने में ही बहुत दिक्कतें आ रही कि हमने उसको मान लीजिए कि एक बॉक्स है, बॉक्स के अंदर बॉक्स के अंदर बॉक्स और उसके अंदर 10 ताले लगा के रख दिए एंड कॉन्फिडेंशियल कर दिया। तो दैट शुड नॉट बी मतलब इट इज इजीली अवेलेबल आल्सो टू द ऑथराइज्ड पर्सन, राइट? So let's delve into each component. So confidentiality, this principle emphasizes the need to keep sensitive information confidential and accessible only to unauthorized individuals or entities. Confidentiality ensures the data is protected from unauthorized access, disclosure or theft. So how can we make this ensure कि मतलब data is secure? So measures like encryption, access controls and user authentication are employed to maintain confidentiality. Confidentiality के लिए हम लोग क्या करना पड़ेगा? Data encrypt होना चाहिए, data encrypt करके रख सकते हैं हम, so that कि private की public की concept आ जाता है कि मतलब you have the private key and you can access the data. Then access control कि anybody cannot access that data, so proper username password should be there and user authentication are employed to maintain confidentiality. Then next is integrity. What is integrity?
Whatever data we have entered into the system cannot be modified other than the respective authorized people. So it should not be changed.
Right. Yeah. मतलब integrity means कि whatever data is available, that should be firm and not fiddled with anybody or any person who is not authorized to do that. Right. Suppose some information is there. Suppose in government website there are some information, and that affects many people, but it should be edited. It can be edited only by the authorized person only, right? So integrity of data means कि you can rely on that data. That integrity is there. Integrity ensures the accuracy and trustworthiness of data throughout its life cycle. कि मतलब जो data वहां पे दिख रहा है that is accurate है and trustworthy है. You can rely on that data, right? It focuses on preventing unauthorized modification, tampering, or corruption of data by maintaining data integrity, right? Organizations can be confident that the information they rely on is accurate and has not been altered maliciously. मतलब जो भी access कर रहा है उस data को उसको confidence होना चाहिए. Suppose कि we have opened icicibank.com, right? So we are confident enough that कि yeah, the account amount is showing in my account is correct. We are confident, right? Information that rely on is accurate and has not been altered maliciously. Then availability. What is availability?
System should be available all the time, cannot be go down unless there's a
Yeah,
scheduled
suppose
downtime or something.
definitely. Like suppose we have confidential data is there, integrity is there, but availability is not there, then there is no use of it, right? It should be available on time. Suppose there is a need of money or something and you need to access the icbank.com and you are not able to access that, then there is a problem. So availability emphasizes the importance of ensuring that data and service are accessible and usable when needed. It ensures that authorized user can access information and resource promptly and reliably. Measures like redundancy, disaster recovery plans and robust infrastructure employed to maintain high availability. Means कि आपका जो डेटा जो सर्वर है आपका उसमें सबका प्लान होना चाहिए लाइक कि सपोज वन साइट इज डाउन और वन डेटा सेंटर हैव सम थ्रेट मींस कि some natural calamity has come, some flood has come, earthquake has come, and your data center is down. So disaster recovery site should be there so that that can be up, and from there user can access the application. तो disaster recovery के लिए and redundancy आपका सारा data backup होना चाहिए. It should not be in one place कि एक जगह रखा है and उड़ गया, data has lost. So all these things should be taken care. These are things to maintain high ability. These three principles work in tandem to provide a comprehensive approach to information security. A breach of any of these components can have serious consequences. Suppose कि confidentiality, integrity, availability, these are tightly coupled basically, and एक के भी any one can hamper the other functionality, right? A breach of any of these components can have serious consequences. For example, a database that compromises confidentiality can result in sensitive information being exposed to unauthorized parties. Similarly, an integrity violations could lead to incorrect data being used for decision making. Suppose कि आपका data integrity में problem आ गया, there is problem in data integrity and you have taken a wrong decision. Confidentiality is there, but data is breached. Then obviously you are taking incorrect decision or decision making problem again, resulting in potentially disastrous outcomes. Lastly, if availability is compromised, essential service and resources may become unavailable, leading to disruptions and financial losses as well. So to achieve a strong security posture, organizations implement various security controls, policies, and practices that align with the CIA principles. Regular risk assessment, security audits, and employee training are essential to ensure continuous compliance with these principles and to adopt the evolving threat landscape. So now next portion is authentication. What are the authentication?
Authentication means if you want to access any application, you have a credential to use that application.
Yeah. My slide is visible?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
Yes, sir.
Authentication is to check. It's a mechanism to check proper authorization.
Basically, you're right. Basically, authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user.
Sir, sorry, but authentication is not to check the authorization. Authentication is basically to
No.
authenticate the
I'm
user credentials. And
yes,
once
right.
the user credential are authenticated, user is logged in, then authorization
Yes.
is to check whether the user is authorized to access particular
Authorized or
data or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, authentication means ki who are you, right? You have to tell ki who are you. You say verify the user's identity. Who are you means ki you have to prove that you are this person. Suppose you are authenticating. Suppose I am entering into gmail.com and I have entered my username and password. By through that authentication, I am just telling the system that I am the same person which I am username password I am putting, right? That is authentication. Then once you are authenticated the system, then what information you can access, right? That is authorization. Means ki
So
suppose you have
roles
Suppose-
and rights, whatever roles and rights has been assigned to a user or a
Right.
person, that is called authorization.
Right. That is called authorization. It means ki once you log in the system, means you are authenticated for the system. Suppose you have entered, I will take example of banks again. Like once you log in into system and you are able to see only your account. It's not possible na, you have authenticated by the one system and X by the name of X and you are seeing the account of Y. Right. So here authorization means you are authorized to see only your account. So that is authorization. Can you do that? What can you do that? So that determine user permissions basically. And these are here some common authentication method जैसे होता है आपका password based authentication हो सकता है, right? Then two factor authentication. Have you heard about two factor authentication क्या होता है? Or multi factor authentication? You
OTP.
can
Like
you can-
Yes,
password
along with
OTP, OTP
Password-
and
Password is the
password.
OTP, biometric.
biometric.
So
हाँ,
Tokens.
Authenticator.
two-factor authentication is the authentication when you have successfully authenticated yourself for the first level of authentication, then you get a second check to authenticate yourself
right. Like you
with
have
some
to
other application or some other mode. Like if you have authenticated yourself with the password, then maybe you need to re-authenticate
tell the
yourself maybe through OTP or something else.
right OTP or there are
So that
means
is two-factor
right.
authentication. Like
Then there is multi-factor authentication also there, like similar to two-factor authentication, but include more than two factors for authentication, such as something the user knows, password, something they have a smart card, and something their biometric data. Means ki multi-factor authentication means ki we have more than two. Once, let's say you have authenticated through password, then OTP, then the OTP has gone to email as well, right? That is multi-factor authentication. Then biometric authentication is right. Then certificate based authentication. Digital certificate through you can authenticate yourself. Then these are the media. Then authorization. Authorization में you are मतलब once you have proven your identity, then verification comes into the picture, and after verification you are served the system which is required. Means same after authenticating it will show you the system which is authorized, you are authorized for, that will be coming to you. And availability, as I have discussed, same thing here. Then now move to application security threats and problems. So what are the application security threats? Application security threats and problems basically refers to vulnerabilities and weakness in software applications, which can be exploited by attackers to compromise the confidentiality of data, integrity of data, and availability of data or services, right? These threats and problems can lead to various types of cyber attacks and can have severe consequences for individuals, organization, and even society as a whole. Basically क्या है कि आपका application once it is exploited, means it's not tightly built up, and your confidentiality and integrity is compromised. So these can lead to various types of cyber attacks, and can suppose your application is you have not properly secure your network, right? And hacker can easily access to gain your access of the server, and he can fiddle with the data, whatever is there. Suppose कि कोई बैंक की साइट हैक हो गई है and user is able to fiddle the data and change the numbers in the system, then it will be a major problem. So why ये security threats होते क्यों हैं basically? Why it is happening? What are the motivation behind the cyber threat actors, right? So जो can you tell why these attacks are happening? Why people are
Monetary
attacking?
gains.
Includes data and monetary.
Monetary gains.
Monetary gains हो सकता है. Then it may be geopolitical as well.
Yes.
Geopolitical. Then profit हो सकता है. Ideological
Again, the
hack भी हो सकता है. Ideological hacking भी हो सकती है. Then satisfaction के लिए भी कोई कर सकता है.
To take revenge.
हाँ, to take revenge also. Right. So how this attacks happen basically? Any idea on how people are attacking the applications?
Denial of service.
Pardon?
Denial of service means you want to know the mechanism or end
Hey,
result.
I want to know the mechanism ki how they are matlab attacking. Means what are the any terminology you know? Then let me know.
Man in the middle.
हाँ, that may be. There are basically injection attacks. Have you heard about injection attacks?
Yes, malware and viruses.
Injection attack basically क्या है कि injection attacks such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting occur when malicious code is inserted into input field. Suppose कि you are inputting input field are there, right? In application. In application input field, they try to put their malicious code. Suppose there is a field in application, you have to write your name. There they try to, if your application is not securely built, they try to write the script in that input field, right? And trying to trick the data and executing unintended commands. Basically, they are by writing those script, they are trying to run the unintended command into the system, right? Okay, rather than writing, suppose there is a field by you have to where you have to write a name, or there is a field in form where you have to write the application mobile number, right? But that validity or validation is not into the proper picture. Application में properly आपका validation या वो नहीं हो रखा है. Then they can run these commands through that injection attacks, which will harmful for the application and can gain the data, or either through this hacker can wipe off your data as well, can delete the table and can alter the data, can update the data, which is harmful. तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या ये बेसिकली एप्लीकेशन सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट्स एंड प्रॉब्लम है. तो क्यों होती है बेसिकली? ऑथेंटिकेशन एंड ऑथराइजेशन इश्यूज, वीक ऑथेंटिकेशन मैकेनिज्म, पुअर पासवर्ड पॉलिसीज. सपोज आपका पासवर्ड है, लेट्स से देयर आर कॉमन नोन पासवर्ड 1 2 3 4 5 ABCDEF, like you have poor password and password policy is not implemented. Suppose you once you change the password in your organization and it allows you to keep weak passwords, so it will be hacked. It can be hacked. User can try, hacker can try username password combination and permutation and gain the access. That is again a problem. So weak authentication also is a problem for application security and is a threat for the application. Then sensitive data exposure. Once you user gain the hacker gains the access of your application, then sensitive data exposure. If an application fails to protect sensitive information such as password, credit card numbers or personal data, it becomes vulnerable to data theft. And अगर ये application आपकी save नहीं कर पाती तो that is vulnerable to data theft as well. Then cross-site request forgery, CSRF. Any idea about CSRF?
No, sir.
CSRF basically ऐसा होता है कि there are websites. Suppose you have got a link from a hacker. Suppose you have got an email कि your ITR return is due and please update your account information. And that is and wrong means कि sent with unintended मतलब malified intention से somebody has sent you mail and you open the website and it suppose
Phishing attack you mean to say?
No. Basically, क्या unknowingly CSRF attacks force users to unknowingly perform action on a trusted application, leading
Okay.
to unintended consequences such as transferring money or changing account settings.
Okay.
Yeah. So That phishing is something different. Phishing, so basically, yeah, you're right. That phishing means कि similar kind of site बना दी. ICICI Bank has a similar look and feel, and you go and just fill the data, thinking that you are entering into normal website, whether it is wrong site. Yeah. And then insecure direct object references, IDR, occurs when an attackers gain authorized access to resources by manipulating direct object references such as URLs or database keys. मीन्स कि आईडीआर में क्या होता है कि बेसिकली इनसिक्योर डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट रेफरेंस कि आपका वेब यूआरएल में ही वो इंजेक्ट करके गलत इंफॉर्मेशन को मैनिपुलेट करके और डेटाबेस की कीज को एक्सेस कर लेता है, देन दैट इज आईडीआर. Then security misconfiguration, poorly configured servers, database or frameworks may expose sensitive information or provide attackers with a foothold to launch further attacks. बेसिकली अगर आपने अपने सर्वर को प्रॉपर्ली कॉन्फ़िगर नहीं कर रखा है, बेसिकली व्हाट पोर्ट शुड बी अलाउड एप्लीकेशन के लिए. Suppose you have installed application and that need to open some port in firewall, and other than all ports are open. So user can, means hackers can go and scan that port and go through that and access the application. So you need to take care of your configuration of server, database and frameworks, and it should be patched also, because once there are vulnerabilities keep coming and software companies keep releasing the patches to patch that vulnerability. So you should do that. Patching is there. Insecure file upload. Suppose ki there are applications where we are giving the access to end user to upload the files. Suppose so it should be filtered properly. Suppose ki you are allowing PDF file or XLS file, that should be filtered. Means you cannot upload any file extension file, right? That file upload should be secure. Insecure file uploads can lead to the consequences that threats. Basically, suppose you have uploaded hacker is able to upload a exe file and turn that exe file there and format the PC or format the server, something like that, or delete the applications and files. Then there is denial of services, DOS attacks and distributed denial service. These attacks overwhelm the application or server within excessive traffic, causing it to become unresponsive or crash. Basically, DDoS attack कैसे होता है? Any idea? What is DDoS attack?
Lot of ping kind of request gets generated on a particular server where services get disturbed because of the multiple response coming towards that.
Yeah, basically
flooding by ping responses.
Yeah, they are flooding this request like that is a system driven. Basically, they are a bot kind of thing. They are trying to push the various multiple loads into the same server, and server will think it is a genuine request and trying to serve that, and it will hang eventually, and availability is compromised. Then denial of service is come into the picture. Denial of service is happen. So how to avoid the denial of service? What are the measures? We can take to avoid denial of service?
We need to block the ping.
Ping
outside.
is not basically
blocking multiple IPs which are not relevant.
Yeah, there are multiple ways. CAPTCHA. Have you heard about CAPTCHA? CAPTCHA is implemented for that.
Image.
CAPTCHA is implemented for that because suppose we can run a program or make a script to loop the program, and it is submitting the button through that program in loop. Suppose system is I'm sending the username and password on through a program, basically looping program loop karke we are sending the username and password, right? So CAPTCHA, which is something which cannot be read by the computer, that's why human intervention is there. So that's why CAPTCHA is implemented nowadays. CAPTCHA is there, or two-factor authentication is there to avoid those things. So that it cannot be automated kind of input to avoid the crash.
So ping is not the only factor which is used in DOS attack.
No.
So there are many other,
There are
just
many
to
other.
clarify,
Basically,
yes.
people are basic programmers are smart, and they can create a script which basically you can say try to access the server and putting the password and username or something, whatever the service that site is providing, trying to generate fake data and trying to submit it very fast. Like suppose 1 second में 1000 आपने request भेजी server को, and every second you are sending thousands of requests into the server. So it will understand कि it is like a genuine request and server is trying to serve each and everything, and eventually server got crashed. So that is the thing. So to avoid that, CAPTCHA is there, implemented CAPTCHA key, so that key it required a human intervention, because the images that are basically की जो images होती हैं CAPTCHA में, that is cannot be read by the system now. So images के लिए human intervention is there, and human can type, then only they can access. Then broken access control. What are the broken access control basically? They're linked basically, which are broken links, right? Suppose you have clicked on the link and there is no page served, and error is exposed on the client side, and through that error, hacker got some information about your environment, key in which environment your application is developed, and PC and version, and accordingly he is trying to find the vulnerability of that system and try to attack that system. Then security through obscurity. Relying on secrecy rather than robust security practices can lead to vulnerabilities being overlooked or exploited. Insufficient logging and monitoring. We need to how we come to know that application is threat, means ki prone to threat, and on means ki it is insecure. Once you web server, there is web log basically. Web log is ki once anybody is accessing, there is log which is maintained by the application, and by reading that log through system, we can understand कि this application has got the threat or somebody unauthorized try to access, because everything is logged in the machine. So if somebody is trying to access the application, it is logged into the machine, IP is logged into the machine, so we can understand कि yes, it is somebody is trying to access the application. Then phishing and social engineering attacks may exploit human vulnerabilities to trick users into revealing sensitive information or performing unintended actions. These are the things. Then now threats and problems, and now come to the types of application security. What kind of application security is there? Then web application security is there, mobile application security is there, API security is there, cloud native application security is there. So these are basically, suppose we are doing the application security in web kind of application, then web application security come into the picture. Then mobile application security. For securing the mobile application, smartphones are connected to the internet, not only private network, which leaves them vulnerable to cyber attacks. Many employers have restricted on ways employees and stakeholders can use company provided smartphone device to prevent attacks. Similar way में API security. API का नाम सुना आपने? Have you heard about APIs?
नहीं नहीं
API basically, API stands for application programming interface.
Application program interface.
Right. It is a set of rules and protocols that allows different software applications to communicate and interact with each other. APIs define the methods and data formats that applications should use to request and exchange information. Basically, APIs are the interface which suppose we have developed an API which is giving an employee data, right? Suppose we have passed our employee number and it is serving the employee data. So we need to secure that API also, because nowadays application are developed in API model, a microservice model. So APIs are developed and which is accessed through mobile application as well as web application. Means the common API can be served to multiple kind of application, whether it is web application, mobile application or desktop application as well. So API security के लिए भी हमको देखना पड़ता है. Then cloud native application security. Cloud से अगर हम कोई application access कर रहे हैं तो उसके लिए अपनी security देखनी पड़ेगी. How to secure those applications from cloud. So all the various, we have opened the various infrastructure kind of thing, various kind of things. So how to secure all those platforms that are different methods. These are the trends and stats basically. So nowadays 17% of cyber attacks target vulnerabilities in web applications. जो आपका साइबर अटैक होता है 17% होता है आपका वल्नरेबिलिटी वेब एप्लीकेशन में, वेब के थ्रू जो एप्लीकेशन में 17% का वो रहता है, 17% लगभग जैसा कि डेटा बताता है आपको. 98% of applications are vulnerable to attacks that can result in malware, redirection to malicious website and more. 98% of applications. Even though we are trying to secure, but there are many ways, loopholes still remain and it is vulnerable. 72% of vulnerable were due to flaws in web application coding. As per application security survey report, beyond security types applications which prevent the highest security risk to business. Customer facing web apps 42%, legacy है 40%. मीन्स की जो कस्टमर फेसिंग वेब एप्स है बेसिकली वहां पे आपका इस तरह से आ रहा है डेटा. लेगेसी ऐप जैसे पुराना है आपका, आपने अपडेट नहीं किया, यू आर नॉट अपडेटिंग द डेटा, योर technology changed and that is vulnerable, become vulnerable. So due to that legacy applications 40% vulnerability is there. Mobile app से भी आपका 30% vulnerable दिखाता है. Desktop app 28%, internal facing web apps that is 26%. So these are the challenges in the public, the problem that serves as an obstacle for business to better defend themselves against attacks on application. Several challenges and obstacles make it difficult for business to better defend themselves against attackers on application. These challenges include basically what are the challenges? क्यों ऐसा होता है कि एप्लीकेशन हमारी हैक हो जा रही है या हो रहा है? तो इसमें मेजर है लैक ऑफ अवेयरनेस, बेसिकली lack of skilled personnel. Many businesses are not fully aware of the importance of application security or the potential risks associated with insecure application. Users are not aware who will access my application or why, what they will. They don't understand the sanctity of data. The data is important now. So lack of awareness, though they are not keeping focus on application security. Many people are developing, learning from internet and develop the application and host in the server. But things are exposed and due to lack of awareness, system got hacked, application got hacked. Complexity of applications. Modern applications are complex and often composed of numerous interconnected components and third-party libraries, which is making it challenging to identify and address all potential vulnerabilities. So basically क्या है कि we are using third-party libraries also in our application. Third-party libraries basically ready-made DLLs or ready-made suppose you need to achieve a functionality in application. So you have utilize a third-party library. अब you never know कि what is in that library. Maybe it is something vulnerability is there in library and you have used that library. Based on that, your application is also vulnerable, become vulnerable. Sometimes application security क्यों नहीं उतनी अच्छी हो पाती? Because of time pressure. Because the developer there is a timeline. You have to develop the application within 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Time pressure. Business may prioritize speedy development and deployment over security, leading to shortcuts and the introduction of security flaws. Once you develop the application not properly designed, not properly tested, and just done the positive things, negative things you have not checked in else part, then this can happen and your application is more prone to unsecure application. Due to limited resource, smaller organizations or startups maybe lack the budget and expertise to implement robust application security measures. So due to that limited resource also, there are chances कि आपकी application उतनी secure ना बने because due to less knowledge and all that may possible. Legacy applications. Legacy system may have been developed without proper security consideration and are challenging to secure without significant rework. Because suppose somebody is in the organization developed application 10 years back, right? And we are still continuing using that application. But during the period of time, it may happen that there are vulnerabilities occur and that system is prone to hack and all. So That is again a problem. Then inadequate training. Developers and IT staff may lack proper training and awareness of secure coding practices and application security. Basically, you have recruited a developer, you don't give a proper training, just you put him on the job and he's working and coding, started developing. And finally, he may, due to lack of awareness, he may write unsecure code and which may lead to the hacking of the application. So, and constantly evolving threat landscape, new attack techniques and vulnerabilities emerge regularly, making it challenging to keep up with the ever-changing threat landscape. आपका जो things are moving fast in digital era, things are moving very fast, things are changing very fast, so you need to be updated. Otherwise, आपको पता ही लगेगा when vulnerability is there and you are attacked, under attack. So keep watching the things, how things are, keep regular monitoring of logs, regular monitoring of network, where a server is in place, updated, proper patched and all. It should be the वो तो आपका landscape should be secure. You need to keep an eye on everywhere, not only application side. It may be be it server side, be it application side, be it your application side. So balancing security and usability, implementing strict security measures can sometimes hinder the user experience, leading to potential conflicts between security and usability. So we need to secure the application as well. It should be usable also. Means कि implementing strict security measures can sometimes hinder the user experience. कि हमने बहुत secure कर दिया, we have secure कि every time, every 5 minutes, 2 minutes में it is logging out from the machine. So user is feeling very irritated also कि it should be balanced. Security and usability both should be balanced. At least there are adequate time you have to provide to the user. Like suppose he has login in the system, when he is working on system, so it will wait for 5 to 10 minutes at least inactive. If find ki inactive screen is there more than 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then it will be automatically log out. But it should not be like 1 minute if he move his head ahead and application log out. That should not be there. So it should be balanced, mix of both things, balancing security and usability. Third party risk. Business often rely on third party components and services, which can introduce security risk if not properly vetted and monitored. Third party components, as I told you already, we used to use third party components for achieving faster results, and we don't know what is written over that third party and whether it is vulnerable or not. So check before using any third party component whether it is correct or not, and you should use only authenticated third party components. Then misaligned incentives. In some cases, security may not be a priority until a breach occurs, leading to a reactive approach rather than a proactive one. Suppose user are thinking, my data is not that important and it cannot be basically hacked. So what is need of securing all? And once they realize it, once it is hacked, then only they realize. Means they are reactive, not proactive. Means you are not securing your application in start, but once it is hacked, then you are start patching it and all. An application often interact with other system and APIs, making it difficult to secure the entire ecosystem. As interconnected system mein, you are interacting with other applications also, like you are consuming other APIs or other thing. So the system you develop, you can own that only and you can secure that only, but the third party things you have used, you should be cautious about that. So proper vendor support and patch management. Dependent software vendors for patches and updates can lead to delays in fixing vulnerabilities. Overcoming these challenges requires a proactive and holistic approach to application security. Business need to prioritize security from the early stage of software development lifecycle, invest in security training and awareness program, implement robust security testing and assessment, and establish a strong security culture within the organization. Engaging within security experts using automated security tools and regularly auditing applications for vulnerabilities can also help business better defend themselves against attacks on applications. Then these are the application security controls. Application security controls refer to the measures basically and practice implemented to protect software applications from security threats and vulnerabilities. Basically, we need to implement measure and practices. These controls are designed to minimize the risk of unauthorized access. Basically, like this authentication mechanism should be there in place. So these are the controls basically. These controls are designed to minimize the risk of unauthorized access, data breaches, and other security incidents. Here are some application security controls. That is authentication or authorization, which I have already told. Implement a strong user authentication mechanism, e.g. multi-factor authentication, to ensure that only authorized user can access the application and grant appropriate access rights based on user rules. These are the application security control basically. if आपको proper authentication mechanism होना चाहिए और authorization mechanism होना चाहिए, based on rule only user is able to see those things which is entitled to. Then input validation and sanitization. इसमें आपका कि suppose कि you have a field of mobile number or email, but user is permitted to enter anything like mobile number है तो it should be numeric only. It should not be taking alphanumeric characters into the numeric character into the input field, right? Then session management. Any idea about session management? What is session management?
Timeline for
Sir, any application is log out in certain time if we are not using the same.
Yeah, basically session once you
Session management is a process of establishment of a session between the server and the client based upon the authentication, and then keeping up the session alive for the required period of time, and then tearing up the session after the session tearing request generates from the client.
right. Basically, it's a once you logged in a login a website through browser, a session is maintained over a period of time. That is that timeline is set in the web server basically. This session will expire in 20 minutes or 10 minutes. That is defined in the system. So if you leave your open system and it is not session timeline is not set, means your application being login continue means anybody can hijack at that time. So that session management should be there and it should be maintained in web server basically, where you can set that timeline in this time it will be expire. So your application will logged out automatically. Somebody is trying to suppose you have leave your PC open and you have logged in the system, then you went for lunch or something activity or meeting, and somebody come in between and access the information or got the information. If session time is maintained, then it will automatically log out in due that time. Right. So that is session management basically. You are right, said. Data encryption. Then there is a point data encryption. Means you can these are the application security control. Data encryption may encrypt sensitive data at rest and in the transit to protect it from unauthorized access and data. Basically, we keep our data in encrypted form in database. We not all data, but sensitive data should be encrypted. So that you suppose anybody is got access of data, then still he cannot retrieve the data. Like you have credit confirmation, your PAN number, your personal information, Aadhaar number. It should be kept in database in encrypted form. It cannot be kept like plain text. Otherwise, system admin can also see the data, because if it is stored in plain text, he can also see the data. He can see the password if it is not kept encrypted in database. So it should be encrypted. Proper access control should be there. To enforce proper access control to limit user access to specific functionalities and resources based on their roles and permissions. So based on your roles and permission, only who is authorized can access the data. Error handling and logging. We should implement proper error handling to avoid exposing sensitive information to attackers and log security events to aid in incident detection and response. In application security, we should it is a crucial role of error handling. Suppose any error come into the picture or application, then it expose the internal fields like a connection of databases and connection of application server name or something like that. So error handling should be proper and it should be properly directed to the error page, a common proper error page ki yeah, like ki something happens or whatever error message it should be give. It should not give a blue screen or yellow screen saying server not found and all like that. So proper error handling and logging of the error should be there so that ki system administrator or who is maintaining the application, he can check the log and patch that error also. Because ki once you make the application live, then nobody can tell you back ki matlab this application has error. So by checking the log properly, you can get the ki this error comes or faced by the few users, so you can patch that. Then secure communication protocols use secure communication protocols like HTTPS to ensure the confidentiality and integrity of data transmitted between the application and user. So what is the HTTP stand for? HTTP protocol.
Hyperterminal
Hypertext transfer protocol.
Hypertext transfer protocol. HTTPS क्या होता है? What is HTTPS?
secured.
With
HTTPS?
secure.
Yeah, it is
Same,
means
secure.
secure transfer protocol. It is maintaining the confidential integrity of data transmitted between the application and users. Basically, जो data travel कर रहा है secure transfer protocol के through, it is encrypted and reached securely from one end to another end, right? Then to ensure the application security, we should do the code review and secure coding practice. Follow the secure coding practices. We should perform regular code reviews to identify our application. Suppose we have given a new recruited a new developer and we have given application to write to him and he has written some application, but before deploying the application to the server, you need to review the code. What code he has written, whether it is secure code or the error handling is done properly, input validation is done, validation is there or not. Then only you can put this application to the server. Otherwise, it may pose a vulnerability and ready to secure vulnerability and prone to hack the application. So we have to adhere the secure coding best practices. Then we need to put the application firewall also. Deploy web application firewall to filter and monitor incoming and outgoing traffic, providing an additional layer of protecting against common application level attacks. Basically, we should put a web application firewall to filter and monitor incoming and outgoing traffic. जो भी आपका incoming and outgoing traffic है, उसमें we are monitoring through firewall कि whether it is genuine traffic or some traffic is coming. Suppose कि some application is meant for our organization and that organization is belong to India only, but we are getting traffic from other countries also. So we should monitor those traffic कि whether it is correct traffic or he's trying to gain other information. So मतलब we should block those traffic also. Then there are ways of testing, knowing testing, which we'll learn about further. That penetration testing, vulnerability scanning and assessment, secure file handling, mobile application security controls, third-party component security, like that.
Sir, is there any ready-made tools which can give the result of application security control measurement?
Yeah, there are tools basically to application which can be used by developer as well. Means ki there are tools, ready-made tools which are meant by allowing best practices. Basically, there are best practices, a set of best practices, common practices, which are defined into the tool. And once you run your application through that tool, it will give you all the basic vulnerabilities like SQL injection. If your application is prone to SQL injection, if your application is prone to validation, input validation, and there are a lot of things which should not be there. There are tools available in the market. Like SonarQube, you can say one tool is SonarQube, which can be used for this kind of detection, like you can say, right? Tools is there.
Okay, okay.
You
Thank
can run
you.
that tool. Then threat detection. What is threat detection? How to detect the threat in the application?
If someone is trying to breach, then maybe can be detected.
Yeah, basically threat detection की threat detection, the practice of process of identifying and detecting potential security threats. Basically, detection of potential malicious activities and suspicious behavior within software applications. This is the threat. The process of identifying the malicious activity in the application is known as threat detection or suspicious behavior of the application. That is threat detection. The primary objective of threat detection is to proactively monitor the application for signs of security breaches or unauthorized access, allowing organization to respond quickly and mitigate potential damage. So this is threat detection, and then mitigation. What is mitigation means? How to, first of all, I need to detect the threat. If this application has threat, then mitigate. How to mitigate that threat? कि कैसे उसको patch किया जाए so that कि this application is not threat free. Make it threat free. So in threat detection, how can we do the threat detection? Threat detection in application security typically involves the following steps. One is just a monitoring and logging. Application logs, server logs, and other relevant data are continuously monitored to track user activities, system events, and potentially security incidents. Logs are essential for identifying unusual pattern or behaviors that may indicate malicious activity. Means ki logging, we are, as I told you, ki we keep logging at the time of application development. So that log is available in the server, and there are tools which are doing analyzing the log, right? Web log. They keep analyzing, and any malicious activity or suspicious activity happens, then system will alert by reading that log. This suppose ki any application is meant for accessing from India only, but it is getting traffic from other side, or suppose ki in odd hours you are getting traffic to that application, then that log, that application will raise an alarm to the user administrator who is maintaining the application. It is configured in the system, and the alarm is raised, and it is checked and patched, or you can block that IP if this IP is trying to access that application, like that. So by monitoring and logging, we can find the unusual patterns and behavior, and that can be stopped. Then anomaly detection. Anomaly detection में क्या होता है? By establishing a baseline of normal application behavior, we have decided कि मतलब this application is, this is the baseline application behavior. The anomaly detection techniques can identify deviations from this baseline. Any unusual or unexpected behavior could indicate a potential security threat. So suppose कि we have seen कि some unusual activities happening, then based on that we can also detect the threat. Then intrusion detection system. Intrusion detection system are deployed to activity monitor network traffic and application activity. जो आपका intrusion detection system लगाते हैं वो क्या करता है? बेसिकली आपका मॉनिटर करता है नेटवर्क ट्रैफिक को और एप्लीकेशन एक्टिविटी को. दे एनालाइज डेटा फॉर साइंस ऑफ नोन अटैक और पैटर्न्स और सस्पिशियस बिहेवियर. वो एनालाइज करते हैं आपका कोई अटैक पैटर्न देख के या कोई सस्पिशियस बिहेवियर और ट्रिगरिंग अलर्ट्स. दे आर ट्रिगरिंग द अलर्ट बेस्ड ऑन द such kind of alerts, such kind of sign. If they say that there are patterns are there, then they raise an alert. Security Information and Event Management System, SIEM. SIEM tools are used to aggregate, correlate, and analyze security-related events and logs from multiple sources, including applications, network devices, and servers. This enables a comprehensive view of the application security posture and helps detect security incident. आपका SIEM Security Information Event Management System. Basically, it's a tool. It's a tool also which matlab you can monitor log and analyze the security related threat and logs and give you the alert. There are tools also. Then behavioral analysis. We can detect the threat by doing the behavioral analysis. Behavioral analysis involves how to user and system interact with the application. Basically, ki, suppose ki we notice something unusual, like ki our application is mostly active in 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. But suppose in night 2 o'clock, somebody is trying to access and many people are trying to access that application. It's a behavior, basically unwanted behavior from that application. So we should monitor those things, and alert is raised, and based on that we need to take an action. Then threat intelligence feed. So there are threat intelligence feeds also because there are organizations which are giving alarm to the companies or organization. Basically, like there are NCIPC and other bodies which are just updating the thing ki this application is vulnerable or such vulnerabilities are reported from this country and all, and we are patching our application based on that feed. So organization can subscribe to threat intelligence feed that provide up to date information on emerging threats and known attack patterns. These feeds help identify potential threats in real time and enable प्रोडक्टिव डिफेंस। तो मतलब ये आपका वहां से पहले ही पता हमें जैसे कोई वार्निंग बॉडीज हैं जो आपको इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं कि दिस इज आर द threat identified and you have to patch your application for this threat. Then threat detection के बाद next is, तो आपको threat detection समझ आ गया? Threat detection क्या होता है? Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt. I have a question
Yeah,
basically. So
please.
how these penetration tests are performed?
I'm coming to that point, right?
Okay.
This
Okay.
is threat detection is, that is next slide mein I think it
Okay.
will come.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there are threat mitigation techniques also, right? It is threat detection. अभी मैंने कि through by monitoring the log, by monitoring the behavior, by monitoring the things, we can detect the threat. But now how to mitigate that threat? Threat mitigation, once potential threats are detected, once आपका threats detect हो गया, organization need to take prompt and effective action to mitigate their impact. Mitigation measures involve preventing, containing and eradicating the threat. Common threat mitigation strategy include incident response plan. Basically, you have incident response plan ready. Having a well-defined incident response plan ensures that organization can respond quickly and efficiently to secure incident. Basically, suppose some threat has been detected, right? Then there should be a well-defined incident response plan. जिसके थ्रू कि आपको सपोज कि आपका लेट से फ्लड आ गया, सब फ्लड इज अ थ्रेट, या सपोज आपका सिस्टम अटैक हो गया या आपका सिस्टम डाउन हो गया, तो यू शुड हैव अ प्लान, वेल डिफाइंड प्लान, इंसिडेंट प्लान कि अगर ये होगा तो व्हाट इज द आवर नेक्स्ट एक्शन। सपोज कि आवर सिस्टम इज डाउन, सपोज somebody is hacked, then we'll up the system through our DR side, मतलब data disaster recovery side, from there we can up the system like that. These are the हमारा what are the plan based on the event, we have a proper plan, and based on that we will responding the system. Then isolation and quarantine, suppose ki some virus has detected in our one of the server, then we need to isolate that system immediately and quarantine the system. Isolating compromised system and quarantining affected users or device can prevent the threat from spreading. Suppose ki one virus has detected, so we need to isolate and remove that system from network, otherwise it will spread to the other PCs as well. So that is one other mitigation technique. Then patching and updates. Promptly applying security patches and updates help address known vulnerability and reduce the risk of exploitation. By patching proper time पे हम अगर patch करते हैं, because की patch was released by the agencies or companies to for the known vulnerabilities. Once you patch the servers, that vulnerability will be patched. Then security control strengthening. Security control strengthening में enhancing security control such as access control, firewalls and encryption can improve the organization's overall security posture. Then malware removal, using antivirus and anti-malware tools to scan and remove malicious software from affected system. Then password reset and account lockouts. We can reset passwords and account lockout. Suppose ki your system is prone to threat, so means ki it feels ki your password is exposed to the hacker or third party which has hacked your system. So you need to immediately change the password and reset the account lockouts and like that. Then user awareness and training, educating users about potential threats and best security practice can help prevent future incident. So proper user training, educating user करने से they can avoid the potential threat and best security practice can help prevent future incidents. And continuous improvement. Threat detection and mitigation are not one time task but ongoing process. Organizations should continually monitor their system, update their threat detection and mitigation strategies, and learn from past incidents to strengthen their overall security defense. So we need to strengthen the system based on the past experiences, based on the training and other things. By combining effective threat detection mechanisms, rapid response capabilities, and continuous improvement, organization can better protect themselves from cyber threats and reduce the impact of security incident on their operations. तो by proper making a ICR plan कि आपका what is the incident response plan क्या है आपका, that should be there with the company so that कि in case of emergency that can be used. Then here comes to application security testing, right? Then there are application security testing. There is a static application security testing. इसमें क्या होता है basically SST is a type of testing that examines the application source code or binary code to identify potential security vulnerabilities. Automated SST tools analyze the code without executing it. Basically static application testing होता है आपका. इसमें क्या होता है कि आपका tools के through testing होती है. Static tools are there. A type of application security testing that focuses on analyzing the source code or binary code. Basically इस tool के through आपका जो अभी आप जैसे पूछ रहे थे ना कि हम security testing tool के through कर सकते हैं. This is a part of that.
करके रखा हुआ है.
Pardon? Hello? How SST works? Source code analysis. Basically SST कैसे क्या करता काम करता है? Application security testing is the process of making application more resilient to the security threats by identifying and remedying security vulnerabilities.
सर इसमें जो सोर्स कोड है वो हमको एप्लीकेशन डेवलपर से मांगना पड़ता है और दिस सॉफ्टवेयर कैन एबल टू कन्वर्ट सोर्स कोड कोडेड इन बाइनरीज टू द स्क्रिप्टिंग. तो वो अपने आप सोर्स कोड आइडेंटिफाई करता है और वी हैव टू आस्क टू एप्लीकेशन डेवलपर.
No, basically आप SST चलाओगे तो सोर्स कोड पे रन करोगे ना. You need to run it on source code only.
नहीं बट जैसे हमारे पास कोई भी कंप्यूटर में इंस्टॉल्ड एप्लीकेशन है उसके अंदर जो सोर्स कोड है वो बाइनरी में कन्वर्ट होके एग्जीक्यूटेबल के साथ होता है. तो वो एक्चुअल जो डिस्क्रिप्शन कोडिंग है वो कोडिंग हमारे पास नहीं रहती, वो तो डेवलपर के पास होती है.
This application security testing is not done by the end user, right?
Okay.
This application security testing is supposed to done by the developer.
Okay.
It should not. It will not done by the end user. Na? End user. Suppose I have Microsoft Office. I cannot do the SST testing of that Microsoft Office, right?
Okay.
That source code should be there.
Okay.
So this is basically during the application development life
Yeah.
cycle.
Application security means only ki the person who is developing the application at that time he has to make the code secure and he need to do this kind of testings and all, right? So that's why that's why I'm saying ki how this SST works. Basically, source code analysis. SST tool analyze the application source code to identify security issues. Basically, आपका source code में he try to find out the security issues. Is there any security issues? They scan through the code line by line, searching for patterns on known vulnerable code snippets. Then code patterns and rules. There are basically when you are coding, there are best practices and models for coding, application coding, right? So SST tools use predefined rules and patterns based on known security vulnerabilities to detect potential weakness in the code. These rules cover various security aspects such as input validation, code injection, authentication, and data handling. All those things are this tool is well known and developed in such a way he will try to find out all those vulnerability in your code. And once it is detected the vulnerability, SST tool can identify a wide range of vulnerabilities, including but not limited to SQL injection, cross-site scripting, buffer overflows, security misconfiguration, and more. Suppose there are testing, two-type testing. One is for code, checking the code for vulnerabilities. Second is performance kind of testing. Okay, whether your application is how it will perform. Suppose this much load is there, so load testing is there, right? So this kind of testing is there. Then code coverage, the effectiveness of SST largely depends on the code coverage. The percentage of the application's code that the tool can analyze. Tools that have more extensive code coverage can find more vulnerability. मतलब means कि अगर आपका पूरा code coverage करके उसने check किया तो it will give you more vulnerabilities and you can patch that. Then advantage of SST की SST basically developer ही use करता है, तो उससे क्या है कि early detection basically you will come to know कि early you are detected the vulnerability. SST when the vulnerability early in the development process, reducing the cost and efforts required to fix security issues. Because कि अगर आपने कोई application बना रहे हो and you have checked run that tool at that time of development only, then it will reduce the cost because you know then and there and patch the code. So after going the production, you have to find out the problem and then come back and patch. Till that time, maybe there are losses. Your application is hacked, something, so that can be avoided. Then code analysis. It offers a detailed analysis of the application secure code, making it easier to understand the root cause of vulnerabilities. Then integration tools can integrate into continuous integration, continuous deployment, CI/CD pipelines for automatic security testing. But what are the limitations of SST? Limited runtime context. SST operates without the context of the application runtime environment, which may lead to false positive or mislead a vulnerability. Sometimes basically क्या है कि this is a standard tool. So this check for other kind of thing or give false positive results. Maybe कि there are he has identified some code as a error, but maybe that is false positive. That will be the feature of your code. ये भी हो सकता है.
Sir, sorry, I think we are getting confused. Like whatever is we can see on the screen and what you are explaining, it's not matching. So it's a bit confusing for me.
Okay,
Because
okay.
yeah, my focus is on the screen and the topics like race conditions, path traversals, and missing input validation, and what I'm listening is not like so it's a bit confusing for me. Maybe for
Okay,
others as
okay.
well or not, but I don't know. But it's a bit confusing for me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
SST can identify race conditions, path traversal. Basically क्या है कि ये these are the basically patterns. I'm just trying to explain. Race conditions basically आपका जो भी कंडीशंस है उसके भी SST कैन आइडेंटिफाई इशूज लाइक इस तरह की इशू जो कंडीशंस है उसको भी आपका आइडेंटिफाई कर सकता है बिकॉज कि देयर कंडीशंस जो SST टूल है दैट इज प्री डिफाइंड based on some conditions कि these are the secure guideline or best practices kind of guideline meant on that, and based on that it runs. Then path traversal means कि suppose there are program and workflow is there. Suppose in layman language if I say कि workflow condition is there, so if you go by if this like that, you have run the positive thing, but else condition we have not checked. So it is path traversal means it will cover all the path if and else condition both. Suppose कि as a human being or normal tester we will check only the positive thing. Suppose हमने login किया but cancel नहीं किया, forget password नहीं किया, तो मतलब it is covering the all the path or the code, right? Missing input validation if you say, then missing input validation में आपका जैसे कि input validation नहीं है. Suppose mobile number is there, then आपका उसमें numeric के अलावा आप you can try alphanumeric as well. So these kind of test that SST can do, right? Then numerical और data type error. जैसे data type error में basically आपका numerical errors है कि आपने उसमें स्ट्रिंग की जगह पे जहाँ पे आपको डेटा डालना चाहिए XYZ डालना चाहिए वहाँ पे नंबर डाल रहे हैं एंड इट इज एक्सेप्टिंग, एंड जहाँ पे नंबर डालना चाहिए वहाँ पे XYZ डालना है, that should not be accepting like that. And secure reference or pointers, basically it is trying to say कि you are pointing to something else and it is not secure, so that is an secure pointer. Then tool are mentioned here, Sonar Cube and AppNos etc. These are the tools which I have told you, right? Understand? Hope I cleared.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Then dynamic application testing tool. I think time can we move it tomorrow? Jaideep?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We
Because-
can.
Because
sir.
actually
We
it's a lengthy topic and few things are missing, and tomorrow's topic is also overlapping the same thing, so we can try to cover in tomorrow as well if you say.
Yes, sir.
I think tomorrow there is no
No, next
class.
day after tomorrow.
It is Wednesday, sir.
Is that Yeah, but, right, sir.
It is on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Jaideep?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a topping and it's getting delayed, and I think it is stressing. Right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
Sir, I want to request one more thing.
yeah,
What is
please.
the role of forensics? What is the
Pardon?
role of forensics? What is the role of forensics?
Yeah. Okay.
It may be covered in next class.
Yeah. Role of forensic basically ki they are doing the
How it
their
is
job,
done?
and they are
What is
basically they are doing the job and informing the organizations ki suppose new vulnerability has come, they are doing the forensic and updating the organization ki patch the vulnerability from their end, right? Suppose new vulnerability is come into the picture, then they are getting the information and passing on to the respective organizations to patch the vulnerability kind of thing. Right? So,
thank you.
So, Vivek ji, forensics could be in case of any attack which has happened for a company, like tomorrow if one company's got hacked or there's a ransomware attack. So, company wanted to understand where exactly the gaps or loopholes are. So if they try to find out, they have to employ sub agencies. They do, I feel, forensics for them, and they make them understand. They give some evidences that these are the loopholes, and because of these loopholes your system could have got compromised. According to me, I think could be maybe.
he basically forensics is just trying to find out the, you are right, what gap has happened and why it has happened. Forensic means जैसे आपका normally forensics होता है कि कोई भी let's say कोई case हो गया, murder हो गया, then forensics that means you are trying to collect the evidence and getting the things here, like
Postmortem of the
based on
There are
evidence.
company.
Yeah.
It is like postmortem.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, correct.
After the event happened, then forensics come into the picture. Right. Okay, so nice to see you all.
Yeah, thanks. It
Thank
was
you.
nice session. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. We'll continue
Welcome.
on Wednesday, rest of the parts. And
Yeah, we'll
thank
cover
you.
in rest of the part and then okay.
Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.